Hello preschool, how are you guys doing? It was so nice to pop into your Google Meets classrooms last week, and I even did one this morning. I got to see some of you again, since I knew some of you last year, and then some of you I got to meet for the very first time, and it was very nice meeting you. So over the summer, maybe you guys got to stay up a little bit later. You didn't have to go to bed quite so early. Maybe mommies and daddies let you stay up later than you normally would. But now that school's back in, you guys have to go to bed early and let your bodies get a lot of really good rest. Well, we're going to read a book today about a character who has to go to bed. It's time to go to bed. And this character is a bear cub. It's a little baby bear. And this bear cub is spending some time with his grandpa. And the name of the book that we're reading today is called Before We Go to Bed. Do you want to see the cover? Here's the bear cub. Here's Grandpa Bear. You can see he's much bigger. And the baby bear cub even has a book of stories. These are bedtime stories. So maybe somebody in your house reads you bedtime stories before you go to bed. Let's see what happens in our book. Before we go to bed. Barney and Grandpa Bear were tramping home together after a busy day. "What are we going to do next?" Barney asked. "Next?" chuckled Grandpa in surprise. "Next, I think it's bedtime, Barney." So here's the house they're going to. And if you notice, where do you think they've been? You notice the bear cub has some little nets. He's holding a little jar. Grandpa has a bucket of water. I think maybe they've been catching fish. But Grandpa tells Barney, it's time to go to bed now. Grandpa pulled off Barney's boots with a heavy squelch, plop. "Now, let's get you ready for bed," he said. "Not yet, Grandpa," Barney cried. "I always have a giant bowl of porridge before I go to bed. Yummy, scrummy porridge with sticky, licky honey." "Are you sure?" asked Grandpa. "Oh, yes," said Barney. "Come on." So Barney the bear cub tells his grandpa he needs a snack. He needs some porridge. Barney showed Grandpa what a wonderful porridge maker he was. "And now for the honey," he cheered. But the honey was runny and it went everywhere. "Whoops-a-daisy," giggled Barney. Wow, it looks like Barney made a huge mess. "Time for bed now," said Grandpa when Barney's tummy was full. "But I always have a big bubble bath before I go to bed," said Barney. "A splishy, splashy bath with my squeezy, squirty toys." "I suppose you are a very sticky bear," Grandpa said, as Barney tipped in all the bubble bath with a glug, glug, gloop. I like the way Barney is standing on his grandpa's feet and they're walking around like that. There's Barney getting his bubble bath ready, pouring in all the soap, making bubbles everywhere. Barney splished and splashed around in his bubble bath. The water went everywhere. "Whoops-a-daisy," giggled Barney. He has bubbles and he has toys. Do you guys take a bath at night before you go to bed? "All clean," Grandpa said. "It must be bedtime now." "But I'll never get to sleep without a story," Barney said. "A spooky scare-a-bear story with horrible hairy monsters." "Is a spooky scare-a-bear story a good idea before bed?" Grandpa wondered. Don't worry, Grandpa, said Barney. It's only a story. It's not real. So, Grandpa read the story. I want you to look at Grandpa and Barney's eyes and see what you think. How are they feeling? A little bit scared? They're just reading a story. It's not real. Afterward, Grandpa put the light on again to make them both feel better. Maybe we shouldn't go to sleep just yet, he said. I've got an amazing idea, said Barney. We could bounce on the bed. Shall we, Grandpa? Grandpa smiled. All right then, he said. First they did little bear bounces. Next they did bigger bear bounces. And then they did great, big, springy, zingy boingy bear bounces until... Crash went the bed. Oh no! Whoops-a-daisy went Barney and Grandpa. They did such huge bear bounces that they broke the bed. Yikes! Barney watched as Grandpa mended the bed. Then he gave a huge, stretchy yawn. Sounds to me like it's definitely bedtime, said Grandpa, tucking Barney under the covers. There's just one more thing I need, said Barney sleepily. A super squeezy, squishy, squashy. What do you think it is that he needs? Bear hug. Then both bears fell fast asleep until the morning. Good night, Barney. Good night, Grandpa. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story, boys and girls. Guess what I have for you? I have a squishy stuffed animal to show you. What do you think it might be? Last week I showed you a dog. I showed you a black and white cat. And I showed you a blue cat named Pete the cat. But this week I have something else. Think about the story that we just read. Any guesses? If you said a brown bear, you're right. Look, what do you think? Do you think this bear looks like Barney, the bear cub? Or does it look like Grandpa Bear? He's super cute. Look at his tail. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the lesson today, and I will pop into your classes and check on you later in the week, okay? Bye. Have a great day.